Hello, hi, namaskar everyone. Just give me a quick response, a quick update. Am I clearly visible and audible to all the participants? Can we get started with our discussion? I hope you know that in today's session we'll be again revising or discussing a lot of questions. The questions which not only will help you in revising but also in predicting the category or kind of questions you may have. So hello, hi, good evening everyone. Let me just see whether it is running properly or not. So I think it is going great. Let us get started. Okay. All right, so here we are. Let us first of all discuss the question where we stuck yesterday. I was making a mistake. I'm really sorry. There, the mistake was this that I hope you remember. Logarithm of this value is needed to be taken. So what will I do here? I'll keep this value, this value to be positive. I hope you remember that. But initially we were beginning with this, that we were starting with this. Great. So in this session, Niladrinath and everyone, remember this part as well, that today we'll be discussing 2 to 3 questions, 2 to 3 minimum questions on hyperbola and ellipse as well, mixed questions on hyperbola and ellipse well, and those 3 questions will definitely help you in simplifying the formula of hyperbola and ellipse. And there you will get a lot of insights that how should you differentiate and how should you learn the formula of hyperbola and ellipse. I hope you got that point. We'll do that revision here as well. Great. Now here, if I could begin with this, we want this to be positive. I repeat, we want this expression to be positive. So this thing which is written inside the bracket should be positive. I hope you remember that. So then when I start taking the anti-log, I hope you remember, I'll take this should be positive first of all. Now when I take anti-log, I hope you remember, this is base 5. So 5 to the power 0 here will give me 1. I hope you're getting it. Then what do we have? We have this 7. So if I take this 7 on the other side, it will be 1 minus 7. That gives you minus 6. I hope you are understanding this. There was anything issue in this question? No, nothing was wrong with the data. I was making a mistake. I was taking greater than 0 from this part only, from this log 3 only. No, we are taking log of this value. So this value should have been greater than 0. But I was beginning with this. I don't know why, mistakenly. So 1 minus 7 should be what? Minus 6. So it should be minus 6. So here, when this minus and this minus are cancelled, we know that sign should change. So here it becomes greater. Everybody with me on this? I hope there is no confusion on that. Now, again, this is base 2. When base 2 is there, 2 to the power 6. And with this 2 to the power 6, I can see this is nothing but 64. Everybody getting that? 2 to the power 6 is going to be 64. So this anti-log is also taken and it leaves you with 64. So now what I finally get is, I get x square minus 10x plus 85 to be less than 64. There, when you simplify this, it's just x square minus 10x, 85 minus 64. How much is that? I think that is 21. Correct me if I'm wrong. And if I simplify this, it is x square minus 7x minus 3x plus 21 should be negative. And there, one of the factors is going to be x minus 7 and another factor is going to be x minus 3. So from there, I'll say x should lie between 3 and 7. So one answer we are getting from here. Another answer will get from here, and when I take the intersection of both the answers, my final answer will be there. So will you evaluate that part by yourself? I hope that need not be done. Everybody got this? I hope no confusion on that. Now from here, let's solve the next question. As requested by the students, that's sir, hyperbola and ellipse, we need more clarity on the formulae. Here is a question which will definitely give you a lot of insights, revision of the concepts, and not just that, the kind of questions you could be facing in the April attempt. Yes, all of that. So here, if I could begin with this discussion, what do we have? PQ be a chord of this hyperbola. So there is this hyperbola, and that chord is perpendicular to the x-axis. I think this question we have done previously, or we have not. I don't remember exactly. But if we have done this question, shall we do it? I think we did discuss this question yesterday. Did we not? Just give me a quick update. After chemistry class also we became dumb, so we couldn't also notice that. No worries in that. Just give me an update. Did we discuss this question yesterday? Have we done it? Because I think we have done it. And you tell me. If we haven't, I'll do it. So I'm starting to do it. I think we did discuss this question yesterday. It need not be done. I remember this. We did solve this question yesterday. Now let's solve the next question. This says bag A contains 9 white and 8 black balls. So there is bag A which contains what? 9 white balls and 8 black balls. And what is there with bag B? Sir, there is bag B which contains what? Which contains 6 white balls and 4 black balls. Okay, great, perfect. Then what happens? One ball is randomly picked up from bag B and mixed with the balls in the bag A. So what they do is, from bag B, they put one ball from bag B to bag A randomly, mind you everyone. And then I hope you understood, randomly picked up from bag B and mixed up with the balls in bag A. Then a ball is randomly drawn from the bag A. Then a ball is randomly drawn from bag A. if the probability that the ball drawn is white is P by Q, then P plus Q is what? Yesterday I dropped comment to do formula, now I'm getting it. Perfect, Navina. Good to have such kind of facilities, right? Now, here, great. Yes, thank you so much for correcting that. So here, if I get back to this, now there are two possibilities. What are the two possibilities? If I follow the chain of events, the possibilities could be when one ball is taken from this bag B. I hope you're realizing it could be either white or ball or white or black. So I'll go with this one and then I'll go with this one. I hope you're understanding it. So possibility is if I'm picking one ball which is white from here. So let's say I'm taken one ball here which is white. So the configuration of this bag A, I hope you're understanding. If one ball is which is white is kept here. So first of all, the probability of a white ball being picked from bag B is how much? So sir, there are 6 white balls and total there are 10 balls. So 6 by 10. And now when one white is picked here, there are total 10 whites. So 10 whites and 8 blacks. What is the final probability? That the ball drawn is white. So ball should be white. So now 10 white and 8 black. So the probability of having a white will be 10 divided by 10 plus 8. That is how much? 18. So that's the first case. Or what else could have happened? Sir, or the possibility could be that you take one black ball from bag B. So one black ball is lifted from bag B. So one black ball when taken from bag B, the probability is again 4 by 10. Are you understanding it? So probability of taking a black ball from bag B is what? 4 by 10. And again, I need a white ball from bag A. So finally, the output should be that a white ball should be lifted or taken out from bag A. So now in bag A, what is the configuration, sir? If one black ball is kept in bag A, there are 9 white and 9 black. I repeat, there are 9 white and 9 black, but I want a white ball. So there are 9 white, but total there are 9 plus 9, 18 balls. I hope you're understanding 1 by 2. So with that, when you simplify this, you get the final answer. Was it really tough or difficult? I hope you can simplify this and get the final answer within seconds. Will you do it by yourself or shall I do it? This should be 3. So 1 by 3. This is what? 9 into 2. This is 2. I hope we are going great. And this is 5. So this is going to be 1 by 3. This is 1 by 5. And from here, you can solve this by yourself and get the final answer. Everybody got this? Everybody, all the participants, can you do it from here? I need not get it done. Now from here, let's solve the next question. If the mean and the variance of the data, So first of all, when you're given the class intervals, 4 to 8, 8 to 12, 12 to 16, 16 to 20. So in this statistics kind of questions, what you do is you take the mid values. Mid values means what? 4 to 8, the mid value is 6 here. Pay attention to that. 8 to 12, the mid value here is 10. I hope you're understanding it. 12 to 16, the mid value is 14 here. 16 to 20, the mid value is 18 here. So this is again the same question, the kind of questions we have done previously in the last class. It is xi, this is fi. This is not based on probability. This is not probability distribution. Now this is your class whose mid value I have taken. So this is the xi. I hope you're understanding it. This is the xi here. And what is the frequency? Frequency is your fi, f1, f2, f3, f4, x1, x2, x3, x4. I hope you remember that. Now what are we told? Then we are told it has mean. So mean is given as mu and variance is given as 19. Perfect. So let's work on mean and variance and then we'll work it out. First of all, you tell me, how do we figure it out? The mean. I hope you remember. All I'll do is I'll find summation xi fi divided by summation fi. That will be the mean. I hope you remember that. The observations into their frequencies divided by the sum of frequencies is your mean. I hope you remember that formula. So that mean is given as mu. So I'll get one relation between lambda and mu from there. And I'll get one more relation, which is what? The variance. Variance I'll work out later, but let me work on mean first. So summation xi fi, that is what? 6 into 3, that is what? 18 plus 10 into lambda, that is 10 lambda. This is 14 plus 14 into 4, that is what? 50, 14 into 4, 28, 56 I think. Then you have 18 into 7. So 18 into 7 is how much? 18, 180 minus 18 into 3, that is 54. I think it is 136. Correct me if I'm wrong. I hope it is 136. No, it's 126, right? So 130 and then 4. So it should be 126. So it should be 126. So are we clear? 6 into 3, 10 lambda, 56, and then 126. This is summation xi fi, then divided by summation fi. That is 3 plus lambda plus 4 plus 7. So that is 10 plus 4, 14. So it is 14 plus lambda. And that turns out to be what? The mean. Everybody got this? Everybody understanding it? That's brilliant. That's good, Niladrinath. Now from here, I tell you one more thing. Which thing, students? Can we find the variance as well? Now, how do we define variance? I hope you remember the formula. The variance will be given by summation xi. I hope you remember square of the mean. Sorry, mean of the square minus square of the mean. Do you remember that? So this summation xi square fi divided by your summation fi, that will be the square of the mean of the square minus square of the mean. So mean we already have mu. So can I directly write it as mu square? And that is going to be the sigma square. And sigma square is nothing but what? 19. That's your variance. Everybody got this? Shall I move ahead from here? All the participants. Now there again, when you do a little bit of calculation, what is that? Xi square fi. So 6 square is 36. 36 into 3 is what you do. Then plus. Then what you do next is 10 square. 10 square is 100. So this is going to be 100 lambda. Plus statistics is all about calculation. You got to calculate a lot. Then what you have? 14. So 14 square is 196, I think, and 196 into 4 is what you get. So 196 into 4 plus the next term is going to be 18 square. What is 18 square? I think it is 196. No, it's not 194. What is that? 18 into 18, I'm missing. 18 into 18, right? So what is that? Can you do that by yourself? So 18 square into 7 is what you do next. And then finally, this is nothing but what? Summation fi. Summation fi is what? 14 plus lambda. I hope you are there with me. Now this is this part only. Minus mu square. So you write this, which is there in terms of lambda. So minus mu square, when you write that, mu square should be written as 19. So by solving this, you get lambda. When you put lambda here, you get mu as well. Why? Because when you solve this, you get a lambda. And when you put the value of lambda here, you get mu. So lambda and mu both you'll attain after a lot of calculation. So statistics has simple formulae, but how do they create good questions? They cannot. So they introduce a lot of calculation. So a lot of calculation is introduced in statistics based questions, and with that you get the final conclusion. I hope you understood. There will be an equation. This value is nothing but what? This only. So there will be an equation in lambda. You'll find the value of lambda. You put that lambda here, you will get the value of mu. So I think lambda and mu both will be correct. Everybody understood that. I'm skipping the calculation part and making you understand the conceptual part so that you can revise the concept, learn the idea, and definitely can apply it in your April attempt. Now with that, when I move ahead, let's solve the next question. Here we are told that this function is continuous at x is equal to 0. If it is continuous at x is equal to 0, so its limit when x approaches 0 should be equal to its value at f of 0. So let me apply limit x approaches 0 on this. So when I'm applying limit x approaches 0 on this, what I'm doing here is e to the power x, then e to the power 10x minus x, e to the power 10x minus x minus 1 whole divided by whole divided by 10x minus x. This is what I'm having. And this 10x minus x I'm splitting to this part where I'm again splitting this limit x approaches 0 log of sec x plus 10x minus x divided by 10x minus x. Now, why did I do it? Let me tell you that first of all. I hope you all, although you need not do it or write it like this, but to see it more clearly, how is it getting solved, you could have done it like this. All I'm saying is that e to the power f of x minus 1 upon f of x. Do you remember that? And here, I'll also think of doing something. Now, from here, something very, very important you should pay attention to is that now it becomes solvable. Previously, when you replace x by 0, you get indeterminate forms. But now when I try to figure it out, what do I get? Pay attention to that part here. When x approaches 0, this is 0 to the power 0, so it approaches 1. I hope you are comfortably understanding it. When x approaches 0, 10x minus x, 0 minus 0, that approaches 0. 10x minus x, that approaches 0. So I hope you remember, e to the power something minus 1 upon that same something does approaches 1 if that power approaches 0. So e to the power f of x minus 1 upon f of x. When f of x approaches 0, this expression approaches 1. So this is 1 and this is also 1. So this entire expression is approaching 1. First of all, did you get that? I hope I need not explain this part. So this entire limit can be replaced by 1. Everybody understood this? Now let me solve this part. Although when you apply limit should be applied on that entire expression in one go, and that's exactly what I'm doing. But I'm splitting it because this is something finite and this is also becoming something finite. How? Pay attention to that part here. When I replace x by 0, there you get 10, 0, 0, 0, 0. And sec 0, we all know it is 1. So ln1 is 0. So this is again 0 by 0. And again, if I see 0 by 0, what should I do? L'Hopital. Although if you want, you can apply L'Hopital on this entire expression as well in the first part only instead of simplifying it. There also we can get the final answer. But if we can get it with some simplification, why should we not? To introduce lesser calculation in our question. Now with that, when I simplify this, what do I get here? Pay attention to that part here. When I'm applying L'Hopital in this second part, so I'll be having this second part, log of something, so it will be 1 upon sec x plus 10x. Everybody with me on this? Then when you differentiate sec x plus 10x, I hope you remember that, sec x plus 10x, so sec x will be sec x 10x. I hope you do remember that. The differentiation of sec x will be sec x 10x, and the derivative of 10x will be sec square x. I hope you do remember that. Then the derivative of x is 1, so I'll write that 1 here. Whole divided by the derivative of 10x minus x. So derivative of 10x is sec square x, and the derivative of x is 1, so that is minus 1. And there we again see the limit x approaches 0 is being applied. But here, when I do the simplification first, what do I mean by the simplification, students? I can take sec x common. So when I take sec x common, it will be 10x plus sec x, 10x plus sec x. So it will get cancelled and it will leave you with sec x minus 1. It will leave you with sec x minus 1. In the denominator, it is, sir, if I don't remember formula, but it's 0 by 0, then can I use L'Hopital? Yes, always, always. You're free to do that. Now here, sec square x minus 1, this is sec x minus 1. So a minus b upon a square minus b square. So a minus b upon a plus b into a minus b. So a minus b are cancelled. You're left with 1 upon a plus b. So this boils down to 1 upon sec x plus 1, where x is approaching 0. And I hope you understood this. Sec 0 is 1. So 1 by 2, that's this part. So this part is approaching 1 by 2. This was approaching 1, so 1 plus 1 by 2 is 3 by 2. That's your option D. Everybody understood this question? How did we do it? Or shall I re-explain that part? Everybody with me on this? Now here, let's solve the next question. What does it say? Let each of the two ellipses. Now there is a question where we'll be revising it thoroughly. I'll do it in a slower manner so that you get all the formulae and you understand the difference, that how do I personally remember it. I'll begin with this part. So this is a question based on ellipse, standard questions on ellipse, and we'll revise a lot of formulae with that. Where x square upon a square plus y square upon b square is equal to 1, where a is greater than b. Now please understand, if a is greater than b, this is the standard ellipse. Standard ellipse means the major axis will be the x-axis. Now here, E2 is given as x square upon capital A square plus y square upon capital B square is equal to 1, where a is less than b. So if this denominator of x is less than the denominator of y, that means here it will be the axis, it will be the ellipse which will be having the major axis as its y-axis. Everybody listening and understanding that? Now from here, when I go ahead, both of them have eccentricity 4 by 5. Okay, so both of them have eccentricity 4 by 5. Perfect and fine. Then let the length of the lattice rectum of this E1, capital E1, and this is capital E2. So previous question, first part 1 comes. How first part 1 comes? Kiran, I'll say we did solve this. That do you not remember e to the power f of x minus 1 upon f of x? So I hope you remember, if f of x approaches 0, then e to the power 0 minus 1 upon 0 approaches 1. That's exactly what I'm applying. So e to the power f of x minus 1 upon f of x. This f of x is 10x minus x. So this is approaching 0, this is approaching 0, and x approaches 0. So e to the power 0 minus 1 upon 0 always approaches 1. And this is e to the power 0, that is 1. So 1 into 1 is 1. I hope I can move ahead from here. Now when I get back to it, length of lattice recta of E1 and E2 be L1 and L2 respectively, such that, now there is something very crucial, this relation we got to take care of, which I'll definitely utilize later. If the distance between the foci of E1, now I hope you remember, foci is what? I hope you remember AE comma 0 minus AE comma 0. So distance between the foci, for this, I hope you remember AE comma 0 minus AE comma 0. But for this, the foci will be 0 comma BE and 0 comma minus B. I hope you are understanding it. So distance between foci for this ellipse will be 2AE. So if that distance between foci is given as 2AE, where this is given as 8. So we know that 2 is 2, but A is A and E is eccentricity, which is given as 4 by 5. So this is given as 8. I hope you're listening and understanding. So 4 into 2 is 8. With that, I get A to be 5. So we have cracked the value of A, which is 5. I repeat, we have cracked the value of A, which is 5. Small a I'm writing. Now, if I have A, if I have E, can I not crack B? So this is the ellipse. Now for ellipse, always remember, eccentricity E square is given by 1 minus. Now it should be either B square by A square or A square by B square. Is smaller upon greater. Now which is the smaller here? B. So it should be B square by A square. Now what happens in hyperbola? It becomes plus. How I remember it? Sir, ellipse has eccentricity less than 1. So 1 minus something. For hyperbola, eccentricity is greater than 1. That means 1 plus something. Are you getting it? All the participants who are asking for the formula of hyperbola and ellipse, are you learning the difference? That's how I personally remember it, and I'm sharing my techniques with you. So here, E square, E is what? E we are given as 4 by 5. So it should be 16. It should be 16 by 25 is equal to 1 minus B square. B is what we are supposed to crack, but A we have cracked, that is 25. Everybody got that? Now if I do one thing, 1 if I take on the left hand side, can I do so? So if I'm taking 1 on the left hand side, it will become this. So 16 minus 25, that is 9. So it should be minus 9 by 25. It should be minus 9 by 25. Everybody listening and understanding that? 25 and 25 are cancelled. So there we get B to be 3. So we have received A as 5 and B as 3. Everybody comfortably understanding it? All the participants. I hope there is no doubt on that. Now, let's talk about the second part. The lengths of the lattice rectum. So lattice rectum we know is 2b square upon A. I hope you remember that standard formula, that the length of lattice rectum is 2b square upon A. This here was the standard ellipse. So its lattice rectum will be having length 2b square upon A. But the problem here is, the catch here is that for this ellipse is having its major axis as y-axis, and there the formula changes. So instead of 2b square A, the length of that ellipse lattice rectum will be, can you help me with that? 2a square by b. So it will become 2a square by b. Are you understanding the difference? And this relationship between L1 and L2 is given in this. L1 square times 2 is equal to 9 times L2. Everybody got this, or shall I re-explain this part, all the participants? Now from here, if I wish to simplify this, what else do I have? What else do I get? I think if I start simplifying this, 2 and 2 are cancelled. Everybody with me on this? So this is 2. This is b square. B square is 9, so it is 9 by A, which is 5. So it should be 9 square by 5 square. And there I have 9 times A square by B. From here, if I do a little bit of simplification, this line and this line are cancelled. Apart from this, I don't see anything to be getting cancelled. So 9 into 2 is 18 by 25. So what do we get? We get A square by B. A square by B. Correct me if I'm wrong. A square B as 18 by 25. Now let's keep this result with us for a while. Now let's get back to the another discussion we were having. Which discussion? We were told that eccentricity of the other ellipse is also 4 by 5. But for this ellipse, again, can you help me with this? Let's say its eccentricity is capital E. For the previous one, if I took it as a small e, let me take its eccentricity as capital E. But the eccentricity is same, 4 by 5. So E square for this will be 1. Since it is ellipse, 1 minus. Now again, as we have just discussed, smaller upon greater. So which is the smaller here? A. So it should be 1 minus A square by B square. Are you learning these formulae, all the formulae which we are discussing? That's brilliant, Niladrinath. Perfect. Now here, when I go ahead with that, what I see that, sir, you can do one thing. Which thing? That first of all, E square. E is 4 by 5. So it should be 16 by 25. Correct me if I'm wrong. Minus 1 should be equal to minus A square by B square. I hope you all are there. But here, if I do this splitting, that B square, if I write B square, if I'm writing as B into B, so I hope you're understanding the reason of doing this is pretty simple. Why? Because A square by B we know is 18 by 25. So this will be minus 9 by 25. This will be minus 9 by 25. This and this are cancelled, and A square B we have just cracked. Is what? 18 by 25. So can I substitute this result by 18 by 25? So when I write it as 18 by 25, I think we have the result, which is what? 9 into 2. So B, capital B, we receive as 2. Everybody got that? Now, let us get back to the question. The distance between the foci of E1 is 8, then the distance between foci of E2. Now, remember that distance between foci of E2 will not be 2AE. I hope you remember that. Here it is BE and minus B. So, the distance between that foci will be 2 B, E. I hope you remember that. I hope you remember that. So there 2 is 2. What is B? Sir, B is also 2. And what is E? Sir, E is 4 by 5. So it should be what? 4 into 2, 8 into 2, 16 by 5 will be your final answer. Option C. Why is it option B? Am I making any mistake? 8 into 2 is 16. 2BE. So 2BE. B we received as 2. I think it should be 16 by 5. Correct me if I'm wrong. There could have been some error otherwise, but I don't think so. So it should be 2BE, right? Am I making any mistakes? I don't think so because we have been correct. I have been slow. It should be 2BE. With that, I will get the answer as 16 by 5, right? So there could have been some correction here. It could have been option C. Now from here, when I go ahead with this question is clearly a question based on observation. This looks like a question on binomial expansion, but if you are simply, yes, that's great, perfect. Now with that, if you are simply observant enough, you can crack this question within a while. Can somebody in the comment box help me with what should be the idea here through which I'll get the final answer? All I'm saying is that here, if this is S, I'm rewriting this S. This S I'm writing as 25 factorial into 1 factorial plus 23 factorial into 3 factorial plus the next value is 21 factorial into 5 factorial and so on. There are 13 terms. I'll write the last term as well. Don't worry about that. Now I am doing one thing. Which thing, sir? I am, this is S. I am dividing or rather multiplying both these sides by 26 factorial. Sir, why are you doing this? Let me do it first. So if I'm multiplying both these sides by 26 factorial, can you not notice something very interesting? Sir, what is interesting? I'll say a simple thing, which means, can you help me with NCR, the formula? So NCR is given by n factorial upon n minus r factorial into r factorial. Do you remember that? Now here, can B is 4. Why would B be 4, students? I think 9 into 2 is 18, 25 and 25 are cancelled. So B should be 2, Kiran. I'll recheck it once again if you ask me. E square, so E square will be what? 16 by 25 minus 1, that was minus 9 by 25. There was minus, so minus got removed. Then A square by B was 18 by 25. So 9 into 2 is 18. 25 are cancelled. B is 2. Yes, great, good observation, students. Now let's get back to this question. All I'm saying is that there is a small catch. What is that catch? I hope you are noticing. So the only problem here is that it is 26C1, 26C2. I hope you're understanding NCR. I hope you are clearly seeing it. So if I start writing it, what do I see? I see it as 20C1, it is 20C3, the next term is 20C5. So I hope you have started seeing pattern up to 13 terms. So first term is 1, second term is 3, third term is 5. So 2 into 2 minus 1. Sorry, 2 into 1 minus 1, 2 into 2 minus 1, 2 into 3 minus 1. So the 13th term will be 26C, 2 into 13 minus 1. So 26 minus 1, that is 25. I hope you remember that. And this is what we are receiving as 26 factorial into S. Now we know, I hope you remember NC0 plus NC1 plus NC2 plus NC3 until NCN is 2 to the power n. But the only catch here is there are only odd terms. 1, 3, 5. So it will be 2 to the power n upon 2, which is 2 to the power n minus 1. That's good in Ladrinath. So I'll be writing it as 2 to the power 26 by 2, which is 2 to the power 26 minus 1, which is nothing but 2 to the power 25. So did you all get that? Now what are we asked? We are told that 13S. So this is S. I hope you all are there. So we are told 13S. So 13S. S is what? 2 to the power 25 by 26 factorial. So S we are receiving as 2 to the power 25 divided by what? Divided by 26 factorial. Divided by 26 factorial. Correct me if I'm wrong. Everybody with me on this? I hope you all are there. Now we are told 13S. So if I multiply it by 13 here, I hope you're understanding. You got to multiply a 13 here as well. Everybody with me on this? I hope there is no confusion or doubt on that. Now here, the only change we need to bring is that, sir, it should be only 2 to the power k by n factorial. So this 26 factorial, if I rewrite, can I write it as 26 into 25 factorial? I hope we can do that. And with that, 13 into 2 is 26, and this 2 cancels it and it leaves you with 24. So I think 13 as turns out as 2 to the power 24 divided by 25 factorial. So with that, I think we have k and n. How? Because here this k will be 24 and n will be 25. I think we were asked n and k, which is 24 plus 25, and you can mark the correct option accordingly. Option C should be your correct answer. Everybody understood that? Was it not a very simple, easy, doable question? You should have cracked it. I hope everybody must be seeing. Now, let's solve the next question. This is a good question, one of the best questions, and this could be done with some intuition or observation. And I'm telling you that observation, instead of using entire application of derivatives, you can simply apply observation and crack this question. How? Pay attention to that part. 2 alpha comma alpha be the largest interval in which this function, where t is said to be negative, where this function is strictly decreasing. Okay, perfect, brilliant. Now, all I'm saying is that here, if you're taking it as y-axis and x-axis, this is a function of t, so this x-axis is where I'm taking t. So this is your f of t. I hope there is no confusion on that. Now, if I talk about mod of t plus 1 by t square, first of all, pay attention to this part. Mod of t plus 1. So whatever is t, of course, t is negative. So whatever is t plus 1, whatever it is, mod when you take will be positive. So it is positive upon positive. Positive upon positive means what? It will be staying above the x-axis. Are you getting it? Now, one more thing is there. T square, however it behaves, here mod of t plus 1 will be something which will be deciding. First of all, t cannot be 0, because when t approaches 0, it will be approaching infinity. Because when t approaches 0, we can clearly see f of t will be approaching infinity. So the graph could be going like this. Because we have cracked two things. The graph will be above the x-axis, and when t approaches 0, it approaches infinity. So I hope you can see the graph could be going like this. Everybody listening and understanding this? Now, one thing is there, sir, what happens when t becomes minus 1? I hope you're understanding. I'm trying to find the roots where it intersects or cuts or touches the x-axis. So, sir, when t becomes minus 1 plus 1 is 0. Minus 1 plus 1 is 0, which means what? There I'll have its minima. Because please understand, modulus attains its minima when it is becoming 0. I hope you are understanding, listening. So with that, I'll say t plus 1 when becomes 0, t becomes minus 1. So at minus 1, it will come like this and touch the x-axis. Everybody got that? I did not study AOD. No worries with that, Kiran. Here also, you can see this question getting solved without even AOD in the first step. So here, this is how it looks like. But after that, again, it will start increasing, because after minus 1, that is before minus 1, again it will start taking greater values. What do I mean by that? Because again, pay attention to this part. Here t plus 1 is going to be positive. So if it was the minima, it was the lowest value, because here it was approaching infinity. So this was increasing. So it could have gotten somewhat like this. This is how the graph could be drawn. Why am I saying so? Because the only reason I have is, otherwise it will not be decreasing function. It will be a decreasing function here in this part only, from a certain value to this value. And that also you have cracked. Why? Because this point is minus 1. Which I'm taking as alpha. So if we were told that 2 alpha comma alpha is the interval in which it is strictly decreasing. So if alpha is minus 1, this point here where it attains the maxima will be 2 alpha, and this will be nothing but minus 2. If somebody asks you the largest interval where it is decreasing, it will be from minus 2 to minus 1. Did you understand this part? Or shall I repeat it? Everybody got this? I hope we can move ahead from here, all the participants. And this is how it will again start getting increasing. So from minus infinity to minus 2, it will be an increasing function. From minus 2 to minus 1, it will be decreasing. And after minus 1 to 0, it will be again be an increasing function. So this is the largest interval where it will be a decreasing function. If you didn't get this part, if you did not understand this intuition-based approach, what is the other idea? The other idea is differentiate it. First of all, redefine this function. So f of t will have two definitions. Which two definitions? Sir, when t is less than minus 1, and the other when t is greater than minus 1 but less than 0. So when t is less than minus 1, I hope you're understanding, you can define this function, mod will get removed. So there will be two definitions. Then you find f dash t, then you find critical points, then you find f double dash t, and then you define all of this. There also, you will get the same kind of relationship, the same idea will develop. So you could use either this intuition based approach or the derivative method. The derivative method is always there. You can always apply that. Now from here, if I go ahead, what do I see next? So this is the zone where I have cracked alpha. That alpha is going to be nothing but what? Alpha is going to be -1. That value we have cracked. Everybody listening and understanding. Now, then the total maximum values of this function where it is defined in terms of alpha. So if I redefine g of x, how will I define g of x? I'll be saying that, sir, g of x from here is going to be 2 ln x minus 2. Okay, great. So 2 ln x minus 2. Then what do I have? Then we have alpha x square, but alpha is -1, so it should be minus x square. Then what do we have? 4x minus alpha. So it is 4x minus alpha. 4x is what? +1. So it should be plus 4x minus alpha is minus of -1, that is +1. And here x is greater than 2, the local maximum value of this function. Great. So I think good to have you everyone. Arpan, Deepak, everybody. I hope you all are there listening, understanding and watching. Let's solve it further. What do I see next? Now this is gx. And there I am told x should be greater than 2. Why are we told that? Because this will not be defined. So that is the basic condition there. Now here I am now asked to define g dash x. Kiran, if you did not study AOD, application of derivatives, here is the opportunity, learn it. I'll differentiate it. So it will become 2 by x minus 2. As per the chain rule, x minus 2 becomes 1. It is minus 2x plus 4. Everybody listening and understanding this. Now, by putting it equal to 0, you get the critical points. So let's start solving this further. What do I get by solving this? If I'm simply taking the LCM, I hope you're understanding it. So it will be what? If I take -2 common from there, what do I have? It will be 2 by x minus 2. Pay attention to that. And if I take -2 common, it will also be x minus 2. Everybody getting it? Or shall I repeat this? I repeat this part. All I'm saying is that -2 when taken common, it is x minus 2, right? Now, if I put this side to the other side, this can be done like this. So I'm multiplying both these sides by x minus 2, because x minus 2 cannot be 0, I can do so. So if I'm multiplying both these sides by x minus 2, I hope you can see this 2 and 2 are getting cancelled. So x minus 2 getting multiplied. 1 is equal to x minus 2 whole square. So x minus 2 becomes plus minus 1. So when x minus 2 is +1, x is 3. And when x is -1, it is 2 minus 1, that is 1. But x cannot be 1 because x is greater than 2. So critical point is 3. Now it could be having either maxima or minima, but we were asked about its maxima. We don't have any other choice. So the local maximum value of this function where x is greater than 2 will be g of 3, because at 3 it will be having its maxima. There is only one critical point. It could be either maxima or minima. If you want, you can verify it. How? You can find g double dash x. You can find g double dash x, and then you will find g double dash 3. That will turn out to be negative, and there you will claim that it is local maxima. But instead of doing all of that, what you say is that, sir, let's find g of 3. That will be your final answer. Can you not find that by yourself? I hope you can. So 2 times log 3 minus 2. Will you do that by yourself? You know, you just need to put replace x by 3 there, and you will get the final answer. Everybody got this? Can I move ahead from here, students? Now let's solve the next question from here. What do we get? Let the angles. Again, a very good question, where we in our classes keep on highlighting the importance of symmetric equations of straight lines, parametric equations of straight lines, and that's exactly what will get used here in this particular question. Let the angles made with the positive x-axis by two straight lines drawn from the point 2 comma 3. So okay, so there is x-axis, there is y-axis, and there is a point 2 comma 3. Okay, so there is a point 2 comma 3, and there is a straight line x plus y is equals to 6. So if I draw a line x plus y is equals to 6, it could go like this. Let me take 2 comma 3 somewhere else. So when I take 2 comma 3 somewhere else, let's say here. So this is the point 2 comma 3 for a while. Okay, so that's your point. Now from this point 2 comma 3, you have drawn two straight lines. Okay, so let me draw these two straight lines. Let's say one of the straight lines is this, and the other straight line is this. Everybody comfortably understanding this? Now this is your point 2 comma 3, and this straight line is making, let's say, angle θ1 with the positive x-axis. This straight line is making, let's say, angle θ2 with the positive x-axis. That's exactly what we are told. And from 2 comma 3, there is this line which is x plus y, is equal to what? 6, I think. So this is exactly how it will be drawn in the first quadrant like this. And then we are told that from 2 comma 3, two lines are drawn at distance root 2 by root 3 from this point P. So this is a point P. From this, our distance root 2 by root 3 is taken, and there it intersects, that's brilliant Arpan, that's perfect. It intersects this line at these 2 points. Everybody heard that question? Everybody understood that? Or shall I re-explain the question first of all? Give me a quick update on this. I repeat my part. From P, you have drawn 2 straight lines which are making theta 1 and theta 2 with the positive x-axis. And from P, those 2 straight lines at distance root 2 by root 3 are intersecting x plus y is equal to 6. Now what I do is, I hope you remember, if there is a straight line which is making theta angle with the positive x-axis, I can write its equation as y minus y1 upon, or rather x minus x1 upon cos theta is equal to y minus y1 upon sin theta is equal to r, where we take r as parametrically point chosen. So from true comma 3, it will be on the right hand side. So r I'll be choosing positively. Do you remember that? So here if I define this line, any of these lines parametrically, so x minus x1, so x minus 2 upon cos theta. So theta we are keeping open, theta 1, theta 2, it could be anything, is equal to y minus y1, so y minus 3 upon sin theta is equal to r. And what is r? Sir, the distance, which is root 2 by root 3. Give me a quick update on this. Did you all understand how did I write this symmetric equation of this straight line? All the participants. Now from here, what I do next is, pay attention to this part, students. Can you define x and y in terms of r, that is root 2 by root 3? So I'll be writing x as root 2 by root 3 cos theta plus 2, and I'll be writing y as root 2 by root 3 sin theta plus 3. Everybody listening and understanding this, the symmetric form? That's good, students. Now we know that root 2 by root 3 distance away, there is a point. But this point luckily lies on x plus y is equals to 6. It luckily lies on the line x plus y is equals to 6. So this coordinate must satisfy this equation of the line. So if this and this are passed to this, what do we get? I hope we are getting an equation. So that equation is going to be what? Root 2 by root 3 cos theta plus 2. It will be root 2 by root 3 cos theta plus 2 plus y. What is y? Root 2 by root 3 sin theta plus 3. So it will be root 2 by root 3 sin theta plus 3, and that we are given as 6. X plus y is equals to 6. Do you remember that? Good, very good, students. Now from here, what I do next is, I take this root 2 by root 3 common, and there you are left with cos theta plus sin theta, and this part 3 plus 2, 5 I take on the other side, it becomes 6 minus 5, that is 1. This root 2 by root 3, if I take there on the other side, it becomes root 3 by root 2. So it becomes here root 3 by root 2. Now what I'm doing next is I'm squaring both these sides. So when you square cos square theta plus sin square theta, that is clearly 1 plus 2 sin theta cos theta, that is sin 2 theta, and this is when squared becomes 3 by 2. 3 by 2 minus 1 is clearly 1 by 2. So sin 2 theta becomes 1 by 2. Can you help me with 1 by 2? That is 30 degree, sin 30 degree. Sin 30 degree means what? Sin pi by 6. So sin theta is equals to sin alpha. We know the general solution is given by theta is equals to n pi plus minus 1 to the power n alpha, which is pi by 6. Now I'll try different values of alpha. So 2 theta, this is 2 theta, mind you, students. When I treat n as 0, this is 0, this is 0. So it gives you 2 theta as pi by 6. That leaves you theta as pi by 12. I try one more value. Let's say I try replace n by 1. So 2 theta becomes what? N pi is what? 1 pi plus minus 1 to the power n, which is minus pi by 6. So that leaves you with 5 pi by 6. 5 pi by 6 when divided by 2, 5 pi by 6 when divided by 2 gives you 5 pi by 12. So one of the values here will be theta 1, the other value here will be theta 2. Everybody understood this, or shall I re-explain this part? So here we got theta 1 and theta 2, and then after adding them you can get the final answer, which should be what? 6 pi by 12. 6 pi by 12 is pi by 2. Option C should be your final or correct answer. Everybody got that? Amazing, interesting, and a very insightful question it was. One of the best questions of your today's discussion. Now I hope you understood this. I'm going a little faster, not explaining much things, but I'm hoping that you're getting it. If you didn't get anything, do write in the comment box. I'll re-explain that part here. The sum of all the values of alpha. This question I'm not going to solve, amazingly lengthy in terms of calculation. I'll just tell you the approach. Will that be okay? Now here, if you don't get the approach, afterwards the calculation which you don't get, I'll re-explain that part as well if you write it in the comment box. So first of all, let's understand what is needed to be done. Sum of all values of alpha, okay, for which the shortest distance between this line and this line is root 2. That means there could be skew lines, and they are, because there these values and these values are not proportional so far. So how do we find the shortest distance? I hope you remember, if there is a straight line, let's say there is a straight line which is given by a1 plus lambda b1, I hope you remember. There is another line which is given by a2 plus mu b2. So I hope you remember the distance between, the shortest distance between these two lines is given by what? Either you use the Cartesian form or the vector form, whichever suits you. Here, determinant means STP, scalar triple product. So it is taken by a2 minus a1 dot b1 cross b2. It's basically the projection of a2 minus a1 on b1 cross b2 along the common perpendicular, divided by modulus of b1 cross b2. Please understand this. Here in the numerator, I'm taking modulus of STP of a2 minus a1 dot b1 cross b2. I hope you remember that. Divided by, oh, am I making any mistake? I don't think so. We are going great. And there in the denominator is this magnitude of b1 cross b2. Now, what does it mean? It means if I'm using that formula, what is a, what is b, what is a1, what is a2, what is b1, b2. So here this alpha minus 1 minus alpha, that will be your b1. If you didn't get that, b1 will be alpha I cap minus j cap minus alpha k cap. I need not write all this. You can directly write the formula, but if you don't understand all this, that's why I'm doing it. What about b2? b2 you will be writing as alpha I cap plus 2 j cap plus 2 alpha k cap. If you were to ask me a1, a1 will be given by this minus I cap plus 2 j cap plus 4 k cap. If you were to ask me a2, a2 I'll be writing as x minus 0. So 0 I cap minus 1, which is plus 1 j cap, and minus 1, that is plus k cap. So I hope you're understanding it. Yes. Next question, I'm doing it. Let me just write this expression so that you get it. So in determinant, in the numerator, that shortest distance is given by root 2. So root 2 will be given by determinant of. STP can be taken through determinant. So a2 minus a1. a2 minus a1 means what? 0 minus minus 1. That is 1. Then 1 minus 2, that is minus 1. Then 1 minus 4, that is minus 3. b1, b2. So b1 is what? Alpha minus 1 minus alpha. What is b2? That is alpha 2 and 2 alpha. That is going to be the scalar triple product. I hope you know this, how to do it. Now in the denominator, it will be b1 cross b2. So first of all, through determinants, how do we find b1 cross b2? I cap, j cap, k cap. What is b1? Sir, it is alpha minus 1 minus alpha. What is b2? It is alpha 2 and 2 alpha. Then it will be a vector, and then I'll take its magnitude. And this value will be the shortest distance, which is given as root 2. When you solve this, you will see it getting formed into a quadratic. So quadratic in alpha, you will get sum of the roots, because what are you asked? Sum of all the values of alpha. Sum of the roots minus b upon it, that will be the answer. Will you do it by yourself, or shall I explain this question further? This calculation part, can I skip? Because it will take a lot of time. But if you have understood it, we can move ahead and solve the next question for the day. What does it say? Let y is equals to by x be a differentiable function in this interval 0 to infinity, where y1 is 2. Then this is 3. For each x positive, then 2y2. Okay, let's work out this result. When I talk about this result, when I put t here, t square yt, t minus t. So 0 by 0. The moment we see 0 by 0, what do we think? We apply L'Hopital. So if I apply L'Hopital, I'll differentiate. Pay attention. The variable right now is not x. The variable is t. Because t is approaching x. So the variable should be t. So I'm going to differentiate numerator and denominator separately with respect to t. Mind you, x will be treated as a constant. T is a variable here. So when you differentiate with respect to t, it will be 2t. Yx is constant, so it will be yx. Can I write that as yx only? I hope you're understanding it. Then x square. Yx I'm writing as y. I hope you're okay with that. Then x square. Please don't differentiate x square. That will be x square. But yt will be y dash t. Okay. I'll keep it written as yx only as for a while. Minus x square stays like that. And yt will become y dash t. And in the denominator, x when differentiated becomes 0 because x is treated as a constant. And t when differentiated gives you minus 1. Everybody got that? And this value we are told is 3. When t is approaching x. Now when t approaches x, what does it become? Sir, it becomes 2t yt minus t square y dash t minus 1 when goes to the other side becomes minus 3. Now this, when simplified, I hope, I'm really sorry. T is approaching x. So when t is approaching x, t should have been replaced by x. I hope you're understanding it. I have done the opposite, which is also fine. But even if you want it to be in the most appropriate manner, t should be replaced by x. So it should be 2x yx minus x square y dash x is equal to minus 3. Now, I hope you see it getting formed into which form, students. Can you help me by writing it in the comment box? This is linear differential equation. How? I think it is getting converted into a linear differential equation form, because here, if you pay attention to this is 2x yx, which I'm writing as 2xy. This is minus x square y dash means what? dy by dx is equal to minus 3. If I rearrange the whole data, which means if I divide both the sides by x square, what do I get? If I'm doing the division on both the sides by x square, here 2x by y x square, can I do that here only? So it will be 2xy by x square. This is also getting divided by x square, and this also becomes minus 3 by x square. Comfortable with that, whatever I'm doing here, students? Good. Perfect, Deepak. Now with that, this x square, that becomes minus dy by dx. I take it on the other side. So there it becomes dy by dx. Or if you don't get it, all I'm doing is I'm multiplying both the sides by negative sign. So negative, positive, positive. Everybody got that? So it becomes dy by dx, then minus 2y by x. Correct me if I'm wrong. Minus 2y by x. Right? So it should be minus 2 by x times y is equal to this 3 by x square. So I hope you can see linear differential equation coming into picture. Now with that, I think we have p of x, we have q of x. Can you not solve it by yourself? What will you do? Sir, integrating factor, which will be given by e to the power integration of minus 2 by x dx, which is going to be, I hope you remember, e to the power minus 2 ln x. So this minus 2 goes to the power of x, which makes it what? X to the power minus 2. So this e and ln are nullified, and you are left with x to the power minus 2, which means 1 by x square. That is going to be the integrating factor. Everybody understood that? Great, Swapnil. Good to have you on the batch, on board. We'll love to see you all there. Now, with this, we have gotten the integrating factor. Can you not write the solution? So the solution is given by integrating factor into y. So 1 by x square into y, that will be y by x square is equals to integration of q of x. What is q of x? That is 3 by x square into integrating factor, that is 1 by x square. So I hope from here you can solve it by yourself. You know how to integrate 1 by x to the power 4. And after integrating, you replace x by 1, you get y2. There you get c, because there will be a constant of integration. And once you have found c, I think you can find y2 as well. Shall I do it? Just write it in the comment box. If you ask me to do it further, I'll do it. But this part, you know how to do it. Can we skip that part? I hope you all are there. Now with that, when I go ahead, what do we see? This is again a very good question, a very insightful question. This looks easy. This sounds easy. The solution is also easy. Within 2 to 3 steps, you get the answer. But imagining this, visualizing this requires a lot. What does it mean? A set has 5 elements. Let's say there is a set which has 5 elements: A, B, C, D, and E. Then it's power set. PS is power set. Power set is what? The set of all the subsets of set A. So power set of S will be what? So all the subsets, which means phi, the set A alone, the set B alone, the set C alone, then set A, comma B, then set A, comma C and all, then A, comma B, comma C, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. So this is all will be given. Great. In that case, Deepak, did you solve this there? And will you solve this now? Great, perfect, brilliant. Now with this, this is your power set. Now what are we told? They are defining an event E. What is event E? Sir, event E is an event of choosing an ordered pair from PS cross PS. So this set is there, PS cross PS, which means how many elements will be there? I hope you remember. If I ask you the number of elements in PS, I hope you remember, it will be 2 to the power 5. It will be 2 to the power 5. Everybody getting this? Everybody getting this? So I'll be having 32 elements there. All of you are understanding this or not? Give me a quick confirmation of that. Now from here, all I'm trying to make you understand is that this is going to be PS. So PS cross PS, if I ask you, how many elements will be there? So sir, Cartesian product is happening. PS has 32 elements. Another PS will has those another 32 elements. So 32 when mapped with another 32 gives you 32 into 32 number of total mappings. So when you talk about PS cross PS, if I ask you the number of elements in this, where PS cross PS, So this Cartesian product will have total how many elements? 32 into 32. Give me a quick update on this. Everybody got this? Which means there will be 2 to the power 10. 2 to the power 10 total number of mappings done. So that's our sample space, because from this an event E is defined. So that's our sample space. So in the denominator, I'm sure 2 to the power 10 will be there. Everybody got this? Now let's talk about the favorable cases, the cases which are in favor. Favorable cases means what? The set E is defined in such a manner that A intersection B should be phi. A intersection B should be phi. Now define this. Define this. This cross this, because this is PS, cross PS. So whenever I talk about any element, how many choices does it have? Let's say I make pairing. Let's say from PS I choose this A, and from another PS I choose B, C, D. This is a pairing. Will it belong to that favorable case? In that set E, will it be an acceptable pair? This is PS cross PS. One of the elements which I have chosen from PS cross PS, where from first PS I have chosen set A, subset A, from another set PS I have chosen the subset B, C, D. Will it be an acceptable case? Can it be an acceptable case? Sir, A intersection B, this is set A, capital A, this is set capital B. So A intersection B should be phi. It is phi. So now when I look at this set, why did it become acceptable case? Now, it is becoming an acceptable case because when I approach these 5 elements, A, B, C, D, E, they were supposed to be divided into 2 groups. Wrong, incorrect. They were supposed to be divided into 3 groups. What does it mean? Sir, if I approach A and ask him how many choices do you have, it would say, I go either here or nowhere. So this has 3 choices. I hope you are seeing. If A goes here, A doesn't go there and there. When I approach B, how many choices does it have? It says I go either here or here or here. So it chose to stay here. When I approached E, asked him where do you go? So it says I go neither here nor here, but I stay out of them. And when I ensure that any of them has how many choices? 3 and 3 and 3 and 3 and 3, which means there are 3 to the power 5 cases which will be favorable for us, which will be acceptable for us. So this E, if I ask you number of elements in E, that will be 3 to the power 5. So did you get the answer? Did you get the answer? Sir, our answer will be 3 to the power 5 acceptable cases upon 2 to the power 10. Do tell me whether you got this 3 to the power 5 or not. If you did not, do write in the comment box. I'll re-explain. All the participants who are watching it right now. Everybody understood this? How did I get 3 to the power 5? Or shall I re-explain this part? Were you able to imagine that why was it an acceptable pair for us? PS cross PS, one of the acceptable events, E, favorable events. And how did we decide? We approach a single element, ask it how many choices do you have. It says I could be a part of either this or none of this. So each of these elements have 3 choices. Everybody understood that? Can I move ahead from here, all the participants? Now with that, when I go ahead with the next question, let y is equals to x be the equation of a chord of a circle. A good question. Here we are given the y-axis and the x-axis. Pay attention to this part, students. If you again, coordinate geometry means what? A good visualization should be done. So there, what are we told? There is a circle. There is a circle. Circle C1 in the closed half plane where x is greater than or equal to 0. Which part, Deepak? Which part do you want me to explain? 3 to the power 5. I'll re-explain that part. Don't worry about that. First of all, understand the PS cross PS. PS cross PS means what? PS has these 32 elements. They are mapped with another 32 elements. So 32 into 32, total 2 to the power 10 mappings will be there. That is our sample space. Denominator will be 2 to the power 10. And always probability based question, it is advised that you calculate the sample space. That gives you the idea to figure out the case number of acceptable cases, favorable cases. Now E means, what is E? Sir, E means an event where PS is A, this PS is B, and A intersection B should be phi. So a subset of this will be this, another subset of this will be this, and their intersection should be phi. Are you understanding? What is PS? All the subsets. So from all the subsets, a subset is chosen here, which is A, another subset is chosen here, which is B, and A intersection B should be phi. How do you ensure that out of these 5 elements, if you choose the elements in such a manner that if you place them, then 2 sets are created and their intersection is phi? I hope this kind of questions we have done previously. If I have these elements A, B, C, D and E, and if I were to keep them into two sets, so I have three choices here where I'm ensuring that nothing is common between them. So what I'll do is, so let's say if I'm giving A and B to this, I'm giving D and E to this. So I have a choice here as well that C can be put here. So one of the subsets will be A comma B, other subset will be D comma E, and I'm ensuring that their intersection is phi. So this is your capital A, this is your capital B, which is PS, this is another PS. Out of this, I am ensuring or asking that if I ask this A, how many choices does it have? So it says I can either be a part of this or this or this. So this A has three choices and this B has three choices and then C has three choices. So 3 to the power 5. Did you understand it now, Deepak, or shall I re-explain this? All the other participants as well who are watching it right now, did you all get that or shall I re-explain that part? Now let us move towards this question. It says, circle C1 in the closed half plane where x is positive of diameter 10 passing through the origin. So there is a circle of diameter 10 passing through the origin. If there is a circle of diameter 10 passing through the origin on the other half where x is positive, so this is how you will have your circle drawn. Everybody got this? Now what are we told? That there is a straight line. There is a straight line, y is equals to x. We know a lot about this straight line. So if you ask me about this straight line, y is equals to x, it would be going like this. This is your straight line, y is equal to x. Do you remember that? And even if I wish to define this circle, that is also something really decent. Here, it has diameter 10. This is 0, 0. So if this is 0, 0, this diameter is 10. So it should be nothing but what? 5, 0. I hope there is no confusion on that. You all got that. Now from here, all I'm saying is that here, C2 be another circle described on this given chord as diameter. So on this chord, which is treated as a diameter, another circle is drawn. Okay, so another circle is drawn, described this chord as a diameter. I hope you are okay with that, whatever I'm doing here. Now this chord is treated as a diameter here. Now this chord is treated as a diameter here, and this circle is drawn like this, where this chord is treated as a diameter. So this was a chord y is equals to x. So that is treated as a diameter. So if this was your circle C1, this is your circle C2. Everybody got this? Can we move ahead from here? Now, given chord as its diameter, if the equation of the chord of circle C2, which passes through a point 2, 3, so there will be a point 2, 3. There will be a point 2, 3. Let's say there is a point 2, 3. Where could it be? It could be anywhere. Let me just take it like this. That let's say this is a point 2, 3. Can I take this point as 2, 3? I hope you are comfortably understanding. This point is at 2, 3. I'm just randomly taking it. I hope everybody with me on this. Now, if there is a point 2, 3, what are we told? If the equation of the chord of circle C2 which passes through 2, 3 and it is farthest from the center of C2. So whenever somebody says, I repeat, I'll explain this part later here. Let's say there is this circle, and there is this point on this circle. So from this point, a lot of infinite chords can pass. This can be a chord, this can be a chord, this can be a chord. A lot of infinite chords can pass. But if somebody says the chord is farthest from the center, if the chord is farthest from the center, then that chord will be this chord, that chord will be this chord, which is farthest from the center, will be perpendicular to this perpendicular dropped from the center. Did you understand my language? There could have been a lot of chords, but the chord which is farthest from the center will be this. Are you understanding it? Can I move ahead from here, all the participants? Now from here, when I get back to the question we were solving, if I solve this previous question, I repeat my part. This is the center of the circle and this is the chord. So if I want this chord to be farthest from the center, then when this point and this center are joined, this line will be perpendicular to that chord. Are you listening and understanding? This line will be perpendicular to that chord, which means this is how this chord will be designed. Everybody listening and understanding this? Now, you know the answer. Why? Because please understand, if this is perpendicular, this is also perpendicular, which means this and this are parallel. Which means if this line is having slope 1, this chord which is passing 2 comma through 2 comma 3 is also having the slope 1. So if I'm asked to write the equation of the chord which is passing through 2 comma 3 having slope 1, will I not be able to write it? Its equation will be y minus y1 upon x minus x1 is equal to m. You simplify this, you compare it with this, and you get the final answer. Will you not be able to do it by yourself? Have you understood it? So remember, when you talk about questions from coordinate geometry, they merge straight lines with circles. Parabola, ellipse, hyperbola, they keep aside. Parabola based questions they ask separately. They merge ellipse and hyperbola most, and then they merge lines and circles. That's how they take coordinate geometry. Remember this. Remember this as an advice. I hope we can move ahead from here, all the participants, no confusion on that. Now let's solve the next question from here. This question says S contains this cubic where A, B, C are natural numbers and all three of them are less than or equal to 20. Now what are we told next? Be a set of polynomials. So this is a set of all the polynomials. Then they're asking you how many polynomials are there in this set S which are divisible by x square plus 2. Okay. So if I'm told that this polynomial, which polynomial? X cube plus ax square plus bx plus c, it is divisible by x square plus 2. So it must give me a remainder. Sorry, it must give me a remainder 0, which means there should be a fixed quotient. Quadratic cubic. So remainder, sorry, the quotient will be linear. I hope you remember that. So if the quotient is linear, let me talk more about that. X square is there, x cube is there. So with that linear, I need not write it as, something like cx plus d or ex plus f. It should be x only, because x into x square will give me x cube. I'm ensuring the coefficient on both the sides of x cube is same. And with that constant term, I'm doing some practical and I'm writing it as k, because it could be anything. I hope you are listening and understanding. Now, when I do some simplification, what I get here is, please pay attention, x square into x, that is x cube, then x square into k, that is kx square, then this is 2x, and there it is 2 into k, that is 2k. Now pay attention to this part. Both of the polynomials are same. Both of the polynomials are same. X cube is having coefficient x cube 1 1, so I need not compare, I can directly write. There I'll say that a is going to be k, I'll say B is going to be 2, and I'll say C is going to be 2k. I repeat, what have I cracked? I have cracked two things. A is k, B is 2, B is fixed, mind you students, B is fixed, it is 2, and it is an acceptable value because B should be a natural number less than or equal to 20. And C is said to be 2k. Now relate it, see the relationship. A and C are independent. Whatever is going to be A, C is going to be double of it. Which means if, let's say, I try A as 1, so in that case C will be 2. If I try A as 2, C will be 4. So if I try A as 10, I'll be left with C with 20, and I cannot go further, because if I keep A as 11, C will be 22, which I cannot afford to have. So for A, I have 10 choices. And whatever choices I have for A, dependent on that, C is there. So C does not have any other choice. If I put choices for A will decide C, and B is already fixed. So C is dependent on A. So C does not have any choice. I hope you're understanding, except for one choice, that it will be dependent on A. And there, the choices for B is fixed, one choice too. So if I ask you about number of choices I have, there are only 10 choices, because with A only, I have these choices, which means there are 10 choices, option D. I hope easy, simple, doable question was. One of the easiest questions of your paper. Now, this question, how do we solve? Area of the region. I'll simply say that if I were to solve this, I'll first of all have your y-axis and x-axis. This says x to be greater than or equal to 0. So on the right hand side. Now from here, this is clearly a rectangular hyperbola. So it will be like this or this. I hope you are listening and understanding. And if I talk about this, y is less than x square. So this is clearly a parabola where it goes like this. I hope you're understanding it without any confusion. Of course, this parabola's other branch will be going like this also, which doesn't matter, because when x is greater than or equal to 0, I am now considering this region only. Which region here, students? This region. Now, in this region, there is one more part. Y should be greater than or equal to 1. So this point, let me try and figure out first of all. This point is the intersection of x square and xy. I repeat, here y is equals to x square and xy is equals to 8, which means y is 8 by x. Y is 8 by x. So x cube is 8. When x cube is 8, x is 2. I hope you're understanding it. So this point here is going to be 2. When x is taken as 2, I hope you're understanding what will be y. X is 2, 2 square is 4, so y will be 4, so this is 2 comma 4. So this coordinate here on the y-axis is 4. So y is equals to 1 will be below this. So let's say this is the value where y is 1. So if this is the point where y is 1, if this is the point where y is 1, I'll draw a line. I will draw a line which is passing through y is equals to 0 comma 1, sorry, the coordinate 0 comma 1, and which is parallel to the x-axis. That's your y is equals to 1. So y greater than 1, which means the region which is above this line, but less than x square. So the region which is below this line. Xy is less than 8. So the region which is here on the left of it. So I am now concluding that the region which we are interested in, this one, this is the region whose area we need to figure out. So I think I need this point as well. So if I put y as 1 here, if I replace y as 1 here, I get x as 8. So this point here will be 8 comma something. That's something we are not interested in. If we are interested in this point as well, then what is about that point? That point is the intersection of y is equals to x square, y is equals to x square with y is equals to 1. So we get x is plus minus 1. So x should be plus 1 here. So this is plus 1 comma something. I hope everybody got this. Now here integration is pretty simple. Till this point, I'll do this curve minus this curve. And from this point to this point, I'll be doing this curve minus this curve. I hope you know upper curve minus lower curve. So it will be integration 1 to 2. Upper curve is your x square minus lower curve is y is equals to 1 plus integration from 2 to 8. The upper curve is y is equals to 8 by x. So that is 8 by x minus lower curve y is equals to 1 dx. I hope you know how to integrate it. X square will be x cubed by 3, then this x. 8 times ln of mod of x minus x. Can you not put the limits and find out the answer by solving it? Or shall I get it done? I hope you have understood it. Everybody with me on this. Can we skip the calculation part? Will you be able to write the final answer? I hope you will. From here, y is 4. Where is y for, Deepak? We are not interested in y. We are putting x as a limit. We are putting x as a limit. The limits are x, 1 to 2, then 2 to 8. So I'm not considering y. If I now move ahead, let's solve this question. If the distances of this point 1 comma 2, 3D and statistics, we always hate solving because questions are very simple. They are always doable, but the problem is calculation. They introduce a lot of calculation there because nothing much can be done with the concepts. Look at this question. Again, the easiest. If you crack it, the easiest. But the problem here is that it will make you do a lot in terms of calculation. So calculation I'll be skipping here, but I'll definitely tell you the concept. First of all, there is a point 1 comma 2 comma a. So there is a point 1 comma 2 comma a. And there is this line. There is this line. So let me write that line here. There is this line. Let's say this is that line. Okay with that? So this line, let me denote by L. So this is that line. Let's say this is L, right? Now, distance of this point along these lines are equal. Along these lines are equal. So let's say from this, if I am drawing a line like this, then the other line will be drawn like this because they are equal. They are equal. So if they are equal, I hope I need not say this is going to be an isosceles triangle, which means here if I drop a perpendicular, it will be bisecting it. I hope you remember all the basics of coordinate geometry or the geometry. Now here, this is your line L2. Let's say this is your line L2, or rather L1, I will say L1. So this is your line L1 and this is your line L2. Now one thing very interesting, they have said 1 to A. X minus 1, y minus 2, z minus a. So this is that line only passing through 1 comma 2 comma a, going along this line which is having direction ratios as 3 4 b. This is line L2 passing through 1 comma 2 comma a, having direction cosines or ratios 1 4 c. Everybody listening and understanding this, all the participants. Now from here, how do I find this A, B and C? There are three variables, sir, A, B and C. So I need to have three equations. So first of all, pay attention to this. I'll put it equal to lambda. So any point lying on this line will be given by what? Will be given by 3 lambda. Will be given by, I'm taking this as that point. So it will be given by 3 lambda plus 1 comma 4 lambda plus 2 comma b lambda plus A. And since this point lies on the line L, so it must satisfy this. From there, I'll get a relationship between lambda, B and A, one relationship. Are you listening and understanding? Then the second equation, 1 comma 2 comma A, this is also a line L2. So if I put it equal to mu, a point lying on it will be given by mu plus 1. So it will be mu plus 1 comma 4 mu plus 2 comma C mu plus A. I hope you're understanding. Any confusion on that? And this point lies on the line L. So that point also must satisfy this equation. From there also, I'll get an equation. Sir, is that sufficient? No. They gave you one more information. What was that, sir? If this is P, this is A, this is B, then they told you that PA is equal to PB. What does it mean? It means once you have solved this and this, which means when you make this point satisfy the equation of the line L, you find some relationship between lambda A and B, some relationship between mu A and C, and then the third thing which you do is you apply distance formula in PA, you apply distance formula with PB, and then you put them equal because PA square is equals to PB square. And then when you do that, you get another equation. So with these three equations, they are not just three equations, there you are getting two equations. From here, you are getting two equations because this is equal to this is equal to this. I hope you're understanding. There is equal. Same, you'll get two equations from here, and then here you'll get one equation. So there will be total 5 equations, 5 variables. Solution will not be very difficult. Once you start solving them, it will become very simple, but still it requires a solution. It requires some calculation, which I'm skipping. Can I do so? But did you understand the approach? What is needed to be done? Can I skip the calculation part? Students, give me a quick update. If you want, I'll do it. I'll unhesitatingly do it. Let's solve this question, which is more insightful. Thank you so much. Calculation, non-calculation. Yes. Great. Now, here, this is a question which will again help you in revising the formula of hyperbola and ellipse. We'll do the comparison as well, and I'll tell you the techniques through which you can learn the difference and how do you remember the formula. Look at this one. For some theta, let the eccentricity and the length of lattice rectum of this hyperbola be E1 and L1. And the eccentricity and the length of lattice rectum for this ellipse is E2 and L2. And then they give you something. Then they ask you something. Okay, sir, let's start solving this. First of all, when I simplify this hyperbola becomes x square by 8 minus y square by 8 cos square theta is equal to what? 1. Now cos square theta will be from 0 to 1, which means this will be less than 8 or maximum 8. So this will be less than this. So here b square is less than a square. So this is the standard hyperbola, and it was supposed to be. And here it doesn't matter. Here if there was a -1 here, then I would have gone for that conjugate hyperbola. And since it is simply this, I'll go ahead with the simple discussion that this is the standard hyperbola. Let's talk about that ellipse as well. So if I talk about that ellipse, it is x square upon what? 6 cos square theta. 6 cos square theta plus y square upon 6 is equal to 1. Now there is a problem. What is the problem? It's not a problem, it's just an observation. There you need to pay attention that here cos square theta is from 0 to 1, which means 6 cos square theta will be less than 6 or up to 6 maximum. So this is greater, this is lesser. So y square upon b square. So here b is greater than a. So here everything will be opposite. Here the major axis will be the y-axis. But this is the standard hyperbola. I hope no confusion on that. So I should be very careful with the formulae I'm going to apply. What do I mean by formulae? Here. Now, if I ask you the eccentricity here, E1. So what relation do I build here? So we know for the standard hyperbola, the eccentricity square is 1. It is hyperbola. Eccentricity will be more than 1. So 1 plus b square by a square. Will it be b square by a square or a square by b square? Sir, since it is plus 1, x square minus y square plus 1. So it will be b square by a square. I hope you remember that. So 1 plus b square by a square. So 8 cos square theta upon 8, which leaves you with cos square theta. That is E1 square. Everybody got that? Now here, for this ellipse, eccentricity is E2. So E2 square we know is given by what? I hope you remember 1 minus, because ellipse eccentricity less than 1. A square by b square or b square by a square. So that depends. Lesser upon greater. Which is lesser? This is lesser, this is greater. So it should be 6 cos square theta by 6. So it should be cos square theta, which I am writing as sine square theta. So we have even square, we have e2 square. Now let's talk about this relationship which they have given. Even square, which is what? 1 plus cos square theta is equal to e2 square. What is e2 square? So that is sine square theta times 1 plus sec square theta. 1 plus sec square theta can I write as 1 upon 1 plus 1 upon cos square theta. Are you comfortable with that? If I do so, everybody with me on this, if I do so, I hope you all are there. Now what I do is sine square theta when I multiply inside, sine square theta when I multiply inside, it is sine square theta plus sine square theta upon cos square theta is what? Tan square theta. So I'll write it as tan square theta. Everybody understanding this comfortably? One more thing I do, I take this sine square theta to the other side. So it becomes 1 minus sine square theta, that is cos square theta. So cos square theta plus cos square theta is 2 cos square theta. Give me a quick update on this. Everybody understood this? One more thing I do is, which is tan square theta, I write as sine square theta by cos square theta. This tan square theta I keep written as sine square theta by cos square theta. So this cos square theta when goes to the other side, it becomes what? 2 cos theta to the power 4 is equals to sine square theta. And when I bring this sine square theta on the left hand side, it is minus sine square theta is equal to 0. So this is 2 cos theta to the power 4. This is 1 minus cos square theta. So this is cos square theta minus 1 is equal to 0. So that's a biquadratic in cos theta, right? So cos square theta if I take as t, cos square theta if I take as t, I'll have 2 t square plus t minus 1 is equal to 0. So it should be 2t square plus 2t minus t minus 1 is equals to 0. So there t will be minus 2 by 2, that is minus 1, and minus of minus 1 by 2, that is plus 1 by 2. But what was t? So t was cos square t. So t was cos square theta. So I hope you are realizing cos square theta can never be minus 1. So that's discarded. But can cos square theta be 1 by 2? Yes. So when cos square theta is 1 by 2, cos theta will be plus minus 1 by root 2. But theta is from 0 to pi by 2. Cos theta will be 1 by root 2. And there we get theta to be pi by 4. So all our conclusion boils down to the fact that theta is pi by 4. Theta is pi by 4. Everybody with me on this? Now we have cracked theta, but we haven't cracked L1 and L2. Now let's go back to L1 and L2. Now when I talk about L1, L1 is the length of the lattice rectum of this, where this is the standard hyperbola. So it is 2b square upon a 2b square, which is 8 cos square theta whole square upon a, which is 8. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is going to be the L1. Everybody listening and understanding that? I'm making you revise the formula, students. 2b square upon a. Can you do that calculation? I hope you can. Theta is pi by 4. That is 1 by root 2. 1 by root 2 square is 1 by 2. So this is 1 by 2. 8 by 2. 8 by 2 is 4. So this is basically 4 square. So this is 4 square. That is 16. So 8 into 2. That is 2 into 2. So L1 we receive as 4. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now let's talk about L2. L2, the length of the lattice rectum of this ellipse, it will be 2b square by a or 2a square by b. I hope you remember the problem was it was opposite, so it will be 2a square by b. So it is 2a square. A square means 6 cos theta whole 6 cos square theta whole square by b. What is b? That is 6. Cos square theta we have cracked 1 by 2. So this is 6 by 2. That is 3. 3 square is 9. So this is nothing but what? 9. This is 9. So this is 2. This is 3. This is 2. So this L2 we receive as 3. So I think we have everything now. Do we not have everything? I think we have everything, because here E1 will be what? 1 plus cos square theta. Cos square theta is 1 by 2. So it should be 3 by 2. This is this is sine square theta, which is what? 1 by 2. So it should be 1 by 2. So I think we have E1, E2, L1, L2, and you have tan theta as well, because pi by 4 will be 1. So this is 1. So you just need to put the values. Can you do that by yourself? L1 you have here, L2 you have here, you have E1 here, and there you have E2, and then you have tan theta as well. You just need to put the values and get the answer. Will you do that calculation part by yourself? Can I move ahead from here? All the participants, did you understand this solution? Another question. Again, I'll be telling you the approach only. I'll not be solving this. EX. Remember this EX. This I have written summation so much that I have forgotten how to write E. For 2 seconds I got stuck that how do I write E. My hand was, by default pushing me to write that sigma sign. So this is Ex. Ex for probability distribution based questions is given by summation of xi pi. Summation xi pi gives you Ex. I hope you have understood it. So this into this plus this into this plus this into this plus this into this plus this into this into this into this into this. When you do the summation, that will be 263 by 15. Shall I do that calculation? I humbly request you to leave me on that. Can I skip that part? I repeat, this into this plus this into this plus this into this. When you do all of that, because statistics is so simple in terms of formulae that they cannot play much with the formula or the conceptual part. So then reduce the calculation, a lot of calculation. So when you do this, when you put it equal to this, you will get k. When you calculate k, it will be something. It will be something. And then you put those values of k here. Then you put those values of k here in all these values. So you will get x. Now we are asked probability when x is 20. So when you put that k here, you will get some values. Let's say you get 10. I'm just putting an example. This could not be true. 10, 20, 30, 15, let's say 12, let's say 13, let's say 16, and then 2, something like that. Then they are asking you probability when x is less than 20. So probability when x is less than 20 means what? This plus this plus this plus this plus this plus this is what you do. I am simply working on an assumption based data, but I am trying to make you understand the approach based on that assumption based data, because we are trying to save some time by not doing a lot of calculation. Shall I re-explain that? All I'm saying is that Ex is given by XIPI. So you do this into this, this into this, into this, you do the summation, you crack K, because this is given as 263 by 15. Once you have cracked K, you put that K here, 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 and everywhere. So you get X. So X, you will get something as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. But we are asked the probabilities when X is less than 20. No, Kevin, you cannot, because when you add all of these are your probabilities. This sum is already 1. The total probability is 1. So when you calculate it, you do it by yourself at home, this sum will be 1. So 1 is equal to 1. What have you evaluated? It wouldn't give you anything here. Total probability is useless in this question. Are you understanding that? Everybody with me on this? From here, let's move towards the next question for the day. Another question on ellipse and hyperbola to make you revise the formula of ellipse and hyperbola. Let this ellipse and the hyperbola have the same foci. Look at this ellipse. The value of a square is less than b square, which means focus will lie on the y-axis. X square minus y square is equals to minus 1. The focus will lie on the y-axis, which means yes, foci can be same, and foci will be 0, BE. Remember that. So they have the same foci. Great. E and L are eccentricity and length of lattice rectum of H, that is hyperbola. Then this is what we need to figure out. Formula now learned, sir. Great. So in this question, apply it and get the answer. Niladri Nath. Now here, if I go ahead with this, all I'll say is that here, I hope I need not tell you, a square and b square you have already cracked. Everybody with me on this? So here, if I talk about the eccentricity of this, why? Because I'm trying to figure out its foci, because that same foci will be here. I hope you are understanding it. So its foci will be what? BE. So for that, let's find E. So for ellipse, E square is given by, for this ellipse, this is the E of ellipse, right? This is the ellipse of E. This is the eccentricity of the ellipse, which I'm denoting by capital E. I hope you're okay with that. So capital E square will be 1. Ellipse, which means eccentricity is less than 1 or greater than 1. So less than 1. 1 minus b square by a square or a square by a square, lesser upon greater. So 144 upon 169. That is 12 square by 13 square. So here 169 minus 144, 25. 5 by 13. So E, the eccentricity, you receive as 5 by 13. Now what about foci? AE comma 0 or 0 comma BE? Sir, 0 comma BE, y-axis. So it will be, B is 13. So BE here will be, I hope you're understanding, 5 by 13 into 13. That's 5. So your foci is going to be 0 comma 5, 0 comma minus 5. Everybody understood that? So that is going to be the focus. 0, 5, and their foci coincide, which means the focus of this hyperbola will also be at 0, 5 and 0, minus 5. Now, let's talk about this hyperbola. This is its BE. Its b is lambda. Have your understanding? So this is lambda e. This 5 is going to be lambda e. Are you understanding? For this hyperbola, its a square is 16, b square is lambda square, which means b is lambda. So its focus will be 0 comma be. So be, its eccentricity is e. B is lambda, so it will be b for the hyperbola. Are you listening and understanding this? Can I move ahead from here? Then what are we told? That here I know a relation, that this is again that other hyperbola, conjugate hyperbola. So for this hyperbola, eccentricity square is equal to 1 plus or minus, sir, plus, because eccentricity is greater than 1, lesser upon greater. Which is lesser? I hope you're understanding. This time it is the conjugate. So usually it is b square by a square. Usually it is b square by a square, but this is conjugate, so it should be a square by b square. So it should be 16 by lambda square. Correct me if I'm wrong. Have you all understood this part? Can I move ahead from here? All the participants. Now we know one thing from here, that lambda e is 5. So e is 5 by lambda. E is 5 by lambda. I hope you're understanding it. So e square will be 25 by lambda square. 25 by lambda square. So 25 minus 16, how much is that? So that is 9 by lambda square is equal to 1. So there we crack lambda square to be 9. So lambda square is cracked as 9, which means lambda is 3. Everybody watching, listening and understanding this, are you enjoying this? The mathematics part. Now, what are we told? I think now we need to crack the eccentricity. Can you not help me with the eccentricity of the hyperbola? So eccentricity is 5 by lambda, lambda is 3. So eccentricity is 5 by 3. We have cracked eccentricity. Now let's talk about the length of the lattice rectum. That is again 2b square upon a or 2a square by b. So here again, this is minus 1. So it should be 2a square by b. I hope you're understanding it. So lattice rectum will be 2. A square is 16 upon b. So b is again lambda, which is 3. So this is your lattice rectum. So you have L, you have E. Can you not solve it by yourself? Will you do it by yourself from here? Everybody understood that? Can I move ahead from here, all the participants? Now let's solve the next question. I love it. We all love it. I think you also love it. Complex numbers and geometry based questions. Don't get confused by this question by looking at this, inequalities and a lot of things are there. If you know the geometry of complex number, you can crack it within seconds. Are you not seeing this is an ellipse? Are you not seeing this is a circle? Region inside the circle, region on the ellipse. Why? Because a point, variable point, which is moving in such a way, yes, it is my favorite, it should be everybody's favorite, that its distance from a fixed point, that its sum of its distance from two fixed points remains constant. I repeat, locus based question of ellipse. So if a point moves in such a way that its distance from two fixed points sum is fixed, then it always gives you the ellipse. Had it been minus here, it would have been an hyperbola. It would have been a hyperbola. So it is going to be an ellipse. First of all, did you get that? And for that ellipse, you know the foci. So the focus is going to be S dash 2 comma 0 minus 2 comma 0. And P, I hope you remember that. PS plus PS dash is always length of the major axis. Do you remember that? 2a. So 2a is your major axis. That's 5. So there you cracked a as well, which is 5 by 2. Is it not simple? And this is all not what you write. You predict it by simply looking at it. Everybody got this? So I hope we have a lot of results here. We have a lot of results from here. So if I draw the x-axis and y-axis, let's say this here is the x-axis, comfortable with that. This here is, let's say, the y-axis. Then the ellipse is going to be, the ellipse here is going to be this one, which will be having its focus at, 2 comma 0 and minus 2 comma 0, and its major axis will be having length 5. So 5 by 2, 5 by 2. So this point here will be 5 by 2 comma 0. This point here will be 2 comma 0. This point here will be minus 2 comma 0, and symmetrically this will be minus 5 by 2 comma 0. Give me a quick update on this. Did you understand this set B? This is your set B, and it is equal to 5, which means I'm talking about all the points lying on this ellipse. All the points lying on this ellipse. Everybody understood that? Now from here, when I solve the next part, a circle having center at 2, radius 4. Having center at 2 comma 0, radius 4. So 2 comma 0 plus 4, that is 6. 2 comma 0 plus 4, that is 6. I hope you're understanding. And if I talk about this distance, this is 5 by 2, that is 2.5 plus 2, that is 4.5. But the radius is 4. So if it is 4.5, it will be somewhere here. So if I draw this circle, then it could be going somewhat like this. I repeat, why am I drawing it like this? I'll be more precise and more clear. First of all, this circle is having center at 2 comma 0. I hope you are understanding it. Having radius 4. So from 2 to minus 5 by 2, this distance is 2.5. This is 2. So this entire distance is 4.5. But since the radius is 4, so this will be intersecting the x-axis here. And this will be, since the distance is 4, the radius is 4, 2 plus 4 will be 6, so it will be 6 comma 0. I hope you're getting it. And 2 minus 4, let me correct myself. This should have passed here through minus 2 comma 0, because let me just redo it. This should pass. Are we doing it correctly? Because I did not notice it previously. So this should pass from here like this. I hope you're understanding it. So this point here will be here, minus 6 comma 0. Let me do it again. See, the radius is 4. So this distance is 4 from 2 comma 0 to minus 2 comma 0. And this distance is 4. So 2 plus 4 is 6. Although, why am I putting a lot of efforts in being so accurate? Because I'll be in a better position to finalize my answer. What is that? The maximum of Z1 minus Z2. What is Z1? Sir, Z1 is the region inside the circle. Z1 is the region inside the circle. So you can take any point inside the circle or on the circle. And what is Z2 here? Pay attention to this. Z2 here is any point lying on this ellipse. Z2 here is any point lying on this ellipse. So I have the liberty to choose Z2 from here and Z1 from here in such a manner that distance between Z1 and Z2 is maximum. Can you not help me with the answer, students? Will you all not say that, sir, it is so simple? You choose Z2 here and you choose Z1 here, and this is going to be the maximum distance. It cannot be greater than that. You cannot keep them farther than this. This is going to be the farthest distance. Did you understand that? Complex number, nothing related to iota we did. We applied geometry on complex numbers and we got the answer within 10 seconds if you draw the figure accurately. And I have always been mentioning, with coordinate geometry, try to be as accurate as possible. So with that, I think this distance here, this distance is 5 by 2 and this distance is 6. 6 plus 5 by 2 will be your answer. Will you do that by yourself? I hope you're understanding. This distance is 6. This distance here is 5 by 2. That will be your final answer. And that's why I was putting efforts in being so precise, because when you put efforts here, you save time there. Can I move ahead from here? All the participants, did you understand this? Here, let's solve this question. Again, one of the best questions. I love this question as well because this uses Cayley-Hamilton method, matrix polynomial, which not all of us use a lot many times, but if we are aware of it, with matrix polynomial, Cayley-Hamilton method, we can solve this question within seconds. Trust me, within seconds, if you know that right approach. Eigenvalues and all, if you could remember that. We have done a one shot on this metrics. This is the last question, final question, Eladrinath. Don't worry about that. So here, if I tell you that, let me write A. So can I write A in terms of I plus a matrix? Can I write it like this? So A I'm writing as 1, 0, 0, 1 plus M. So if 3, 1, that should be 2. If 4, minus 4, that should be minus 4. This is 0, this should be 1. This is minus 1, this is 1. So this should be minus 2. Give me a quick update on this. Can I write A as I plus a matrix? Now, why did I do it? Because A to the power 100 is needed to be done. So I plus something will help me in that. Why? Because let me try and tell you what will be M square. Whenever this category of questions are formed, they become something. What do they become? Let me try and tell you that. 2 minus 4, 1 minus 2 multiplied with 2 minus 4, 1 minus 2. So when you do this product, 2 minus 4, 2, 1. 4 minus 4, that is 0. 2 minus 4, minus 4, minus 2. So minus 8 plus 8, that is 0. 1 minus 2, 2 minus 1. So 2 minus 2, that is 0. And again, minus 4 plus 4, that is 0. Are you understanding it? So we have received M square to be 0, which is a null matrix. which means if m square is a null matrix, m cube, m4, all these higher powers of m, let's say 100 if I take it to, will be a null matrix. This is not 0, null matrix. Now, why did I do it? We are interested in a to the power 100. If I am interested in a to the power 100, can I say a to the power 100 will be equal to I plus m to the power 100? Now, are you understanding what am I doing? So with matrices, now we are introducing binomial theorem. Are you understanding it? And it can commute. I into m or m into I you do, because I is an identity matrix. You can commute it. I m or mi, whatever you do. It is perfectly fine. So this if I write as, if I simply do this, NCR. So first of all, 100C0, I to the power 100 into m to the power 0 plus second term 100C1 I to the power 99 m to the power 1. Then from onward, the next term will be m square, m cube, n until m to the power 100. They all will be null matrices. So it does not make any sense if I write those m's, because these matrices plus null matrices will be this matrices only. And there this catch that 100C0 is 1. So this is 1. I to the power 100 is I. So this will be m to the power 0, which is I. So this is nothing but I. Plus 100C1 is 100. I to the power anything is I. And m is m. So we have cracked that a to the power 100. We have cracked that a to the power 100 is I plus 100m. Sir, you have first done a I plus m, but I have always square. Then cube of needed to check any pattern. That pattern is what is there, and that got simplified in such a simpler manner if you could crack it like this. But a to the power 100, what are we given? A to the power 100 we are given as I plus 100b. So if we could crack it as I plus 100m, I plus 100b, that means m and b are same. So something which we assumed as m is nothing but b. So this is nothing but what? B. This is nothing but what? B. Now what are we asked? B to the power 100. Sir, m to the power 100 is null matrix. So b to the power 100 will also be a null matrix. What are we asked? Sum of all the elements of b to the power 100. So sum of all the elements of b to the power 100. So null matrix, all the elements sum will be 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0. That is 0. So 0 should be your final answer. Everybody understood that? All of you are there. Everybody listening, watching and understanding. My final verdict, remember this, we are revising. We are making you revise all these questions. We are doing a lot of questions. Good, decent quality questions through which you are revising your JEE Maths, not just revising the concepts, but getting the idea about the kind of questions you could be facing in the April attempt. I think you have gotten a decent clarity through today's session. Can we call it a day here, students? With that, let's meet in the next session. We'll keep conducting such sessions. You stay aware of it. That will make you revise with these kind of category of questions. So is that okay? Is that fine? Can we call it a day here? Thank you so much, students. Take a good care of yourself. You have been a great audience. Good night, everyone.